Live, going live. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, we're live. Hey, good morning. It's the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. It is actually in the 5 a.m. hour, and it's live. Can you tell? It's 5:58 a.m. This is our 454th episode of the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, where we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way, bringing value, getting you home to your family and friends, like our mission statement says, and having a little fun along the way. And just a little YouTube. I'm glad I'm not trying to make a lot of money because YouTube's weird, man. All of a sudden, I get this ineligible for or limited ad revenue. I'm like, for what? It's been the same stuff for over 400 episodes. And all of a sudden, it's like, ooh. I'm like, oh, I don't know. So somehow I got caught up in the algorithm. And every time I post, I have to go up and challenge things and say, no, this is clean, nothing bad. We just talk geeky stuff. We talk Agile and Scrum. We awesome Mentos and Coke things. I think the Coke thing might be something. But rock some rockets. That's about it. And have some fun, right? We have fun. Be goofy. And I'm talking about bugs today. Raw, bug, raw, big bug. So what are the topics today? So that was my topic about YouTube. And it's a never ending understanding of how software changes. And I don't know necessarily the software change is good or bad, but somehow, stuff gets in there. I'm kind of wondering if they read comments or something. You get those hackers that comment that you get emails for and all that stuff. And I'm kind of wondering if that triggers something, but I don't know. But those things come and go, and I try to delete them. All right. So what do I want to talk about today? Bugs in sprint bad. Why did I write that? Probably like, what do you mean bugs in a sprint are bad? Well, we're going to talk about that. So maybe I'll leave you hanging for that one. And then the other exposure by Agile. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Bugs in a sprint bad. No, Greg, what are you talking about? Having bugs in a sprint are good. I agree with 1,000%. But we talked about perspective the other day. And I think a lot of people that get into the number games, we have more bugs than we had before. And then it'll get into the exposure part later. So we're counting bugs, and we used to get bugs, and now we get more bugs than we had before, and they're in the system and this and that and the other thing. I said, I like finding bugs in the sprint. I don't like finding bugs outside the sprint, and the people who really don't understand, truly don't understand, and all they do is see the numbers, and that's all they can comprehend in their little brains, is that, hey, we got more bugs than we had before. That's because we are checking the code closer to when it was created, and it's fresh and new, and people don't get that. And another thing I would like to say is, hi bubbles, the bugs, right? So we get bugs. Hopefully we're getting bugs because we're trying something. We're in the sprint. We're coding. We're trying to expand our knowledge and challenge ourselves to move the needle to get better. We're bound to find some bugs along the way because we just went maybe too far on the needle. But that's okay. That's what we want. We'd rather explore the range of possibilities and what we can and can't do within the sprint than after the sprint, right? You don't want to. This is my big thing between waterfall and Agile. In Agile, we're testing stuff. We're making things smaller. We're able to build it and test it within the sprint, whatever your time box is. In the waterfall, especially if you're doing safe, could you imagine? There's some companies out there to do this now, and it's just like we keep coding and coding, so you get thousands upon thousands lines of code. There goes the clock. Darn it, the clock's going off now. It's 6 o'clock, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. About 6:02. I think the clock's 2 minutes slow, and then it keeps going. We'll take a break. We'll pause the live program. Here we go. We're back. Stand by. Anyway. So what they don't get is that if I had 5 teams coding, and then months later, or a month, or a couple of weeks, or even 2 weeks later, then I start testing the code to try to find the bugs. What's the probability of, I mean, it's so much more work to find where the bug was because you dumped all this code on top of the system. Some will say it's not that much, Greg. And I said, yeah, I would lean more to more than less. Let's put it that way. There will be more. It won't may not be dramatic and like I'm saying, oh my God, we got all this pounds of code. It's probably not that, as long as people remember what they did. And they didn't go on vacation. Ever. No vacations for you. Which another story. I should talk about that tomorrow. So finding bugs in the sprint is a good thing. I put it as a bad thing because I wanted to stir up controversy and find out how many people actually agree with that. But I'd rather find the bugs in the sprint itself, right next to where it's being developed, and having the tester, whoever it is, or a developer tester. Everybody, you can't test your own code. Some people do. It's like, great, we're all screwed. But that pairing of people looking at what was being delivered and when, as early as possible, closest to the what we call it, like the when you have your data, right, and your source of truth. Then maybe that's what we should call it, the source of truth. So I'd rather find the bugs closer to the source of truth when we coded it. I actually like that. So I want to find the bugs closer to the source of truth when the code was made than weeks later, right? Because then you got to go back, open up, try to refresh your mind. All that startup stuff, all that refreshing where it was, it takes a little extra time that's not needed, because if you do it right after, it's still fresh in your mind. Anyway, so what I say is that people who count those bugs is like, oh my God, we're having a terrible time because we have all these bugs within the sprint. And you're going to get it. Your amount of bugs that you're going to find in a Scrum thing will hopefully skyrocket. Hopefully be a lot of stuff. Because if there wasn't really a lot of stuff, other than getting your stuff to market, is there really a reason why you want to expose all that stuff? I don't know. But it does expose stuff. It does happen. So now, that's when I talk about bugs. So again, lots of bugs in a sprint is really good, not really bad. And for those who don't just say, oh my God, I looked at the numbers, I looked at the metrics, or number of bugs are going on, but this is terrible. No, it's not, because we're finding them in the sprint. We're not finding out past the sprint, post-delivery, post-in production, right? So it's actually better to find them then. And people were finding more bugs. Well, it's going to happen. Work with your team. Figure it out. Don't just gloss over and just make a big hissy fit. A lot of people do. All right, those are the Agile Accountants. Oh my God, we got more bugs. All right, so exposed by Agile. I was sitting there. So we just got the floors on. Like I said, my office is a mess. It's got everything that was in the kitchen and the living room is in my office right now. Still waiting to go back. Still debating how much is going to go back, how much is going to hit the eBay or trash, right? Going to Agile and Scrum, it's like how we did the floors. The old floors, I don't know, 40, 60 years old. They're probably 40, because I think my house was redone in 80, right? So it's about 40 years. So 40 years, beat up, everything. Didn't show the dirt as much. It was what it was, and it was. Now that the floors are cleaned and changed it, every leaf, every piece of dirt, everything. See it all. Just shining gloriously on my new floor, right? But that's what Agile and Scrum does. We kind of talked about the bugs. It's going to expose these bugs and little minor issues and things like that you didn't see before, because it gets just dumped in code, right? It just hopefully went away. But what Agile does, it exposes it like that. It brings stuff to the top. And you have to understand that's going to happen. And you have to be able to take that and understand that. So when you go through a transformation, everybody has to understand we're going to expose a lot of issues that no one went there before. It exposes a lot of things like, hey, the business requirements were not thought out very well. We really didn't know what we wanted to do. We just wanted to get started because we're used to you guys taking so damn long to get it done. Oh, I said it, didn't I? That's why they start early and don't have much stuff, because it takes so damn long. So they're not used to it. So the business is not used to it either. So again, hey, which stuff's not ready, doesn't meet our definition of ready. It's because we're used to you guys screwing off for a year before you give us some code. Now in the new world, you want code every 2 weeks. So it's different, right? Same thing with bugs. We used to have a lot of time to fix those bugs and find those little bugs as we went along and said, oh, shoot, there's a little bug, I'll fix it. And no one ever reported it because no one was testing it. You just found it when they did their coding. So, and also the, leadership and all that, just, how they work, how they manage people and promote people to get to where they want to be. It all gets exposed with the Agile. So it's kind of hard. It's going to expose things. Things are a glaring thing. And you're going to be like, oh, man, I got to clean this up more. So you spend more time cleaning than you may have done before. So like in my house, I'm sweeping the floors almost every day, which I didn't do before, picking up stuff that I see because it's clearly blatant. And the same thing goes with Agile. Before, you never noticed them before because it was a long-term process. It's been around for a while, no change. You change the floors, everything's exposed. You need to spend a little more time and say, yeah, that's not a good thing. So we need to clean that up. So you're going to spend a little more time cleaning up when you go to the Agile. So just want to share that similarity. Just something to think about. Think about getting the new floors. You just wash your floors and you're like, don't walk on the floor, but don't walk on the floor. Just wash it. Don't walk on it. It's clean. But that's what a floor is about, right? You're supposed to walk. I know, but now I got to clean it and keep it clean and spend that extra time cleaning. I don't want anybody touching it. It's like you go to sell something. It's in pristine condition. Don't touch it like a toy with a kid. It's in a box, right? I love these things. Well, like one of my old neighbors, my parents' neighbors, like bought Barbies for their kid and put them in a box and told the kid, you can never play with the Barbie. I would never do that to a little kid. I don't care how much you think it's going to be worth. I don't care what the collector's item is. If I'm going to buy the kid a Barbie doll, I'm going to let the kid play with the Barbie doll. I'm not going to keep it in the box. And maybe that just gets everybody all screwy. But I'm like, the purpose of the doll is to get to play with it. It's not to sit in a box. It looks pretty, but I don't think that's what the toy was meant to do. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just weird. Anyway, I said that a lot lately. I said that the other day. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the show. Bubbles is all relaxed and taking a nap now. She's like, I got you. I'm here. And you're stuck doing your show. And now I'm just mumbling. Anyway, thumbs up. Happy Friday. Remember, having lots of little bugs in the sprint is probably a good thing. It's exposing issues that maybe were hidden before or maybe, just didn't show up. Things we didn't do, practices, whatever. And or maybe misinterpreted requirements. We got to get a better interface or interaction, better understanding of our business model. So ring the little bell if you like what we're doing. I think I posted up all the Mentos videos. I still got to go to the store and buy some more Coca-Cola so we can do more videos, but we'll see. All right. You have a good Tuesday. Enjoy your day and happy scrumming. Take care, everyone. Bye and see ya.